Good morning, dear learners. Myself, Yogesh Kanade, lecturer at DCS Institute of Pharmacy, Devpur, Dhule. Our today's topic is antidepressant drugs or antidepressant agents. These are the agents or drugs which are used in treatment of depression or to overcome or counteract depression are known as antidepressant drugs or antidepressant agents. Now, first of all, we will try to understand what is depression. Depression is an affective disorder which afflicts many individuals. Afflicts means this state affects adversely many individuals. Depression is an affective disorder which is going to affect adversely many individuals. The psychiatric term affect refers to the pleasant and unpleasant feelings which are experienced by everyone. Pleasant means the feelings which gives a sense of happiness, satisfaction or enjoyment. Any person who is having a feelings of happiness, satisfaction, enjoyment, etc., that we refer as pleasant feelings. While a person having a feeling of fear, discomfort, unhappiness, disagreeable feelings, that are referred as unpleasant feeling. Therefore, this affective, the word affect, it is referring the pleasant and unpleasant feelings which are experienced by an individual at one stage. These feelings, that is pleasant or unpleasant feelings, may be mild or strong, and these feelings controls the emotional and mental state of an individual at one time. The feelings which are experienced by an individual, these feelings controls the emotional and mental state in an individual. Depression is a state which may arise in a healthy human being, that is normal individual, or it may occur in a person suffering from mental disorders. डिप्रेशन हा जो फिनॉमिना आहे तो फिनॉमिना तुम्ही नॉर्मल हेल्दी मध्ये पण बघू शकतात, नॉर्मल इंडिव्हिज्युअल मध्ये पण बघू शकतात, as well as it can be seen in a person suffering from mental disorders. Now, how depression can occur in normal individual? Okay, we can understand that it occurs in mental illness, it's okay, but how it can occur in a normal individual? For example, if death of an beloved one takes place, ज्याच्यावर तुमचं सगळ्यात जास्त प्रेम आहे, अशा व्यक्तीची जर सडन तुम्हाला माहिती मिळाली की दॅट death of that person has taken place, there are chances that the individual may go in a state of depression, or suddenly the individual comes to know that he is suffering from a severe disease or disorder. A normal healthy human being can go in a state of depression. Therefore, depression can arise in normal individual or in a mentally ill patient. Depression is sadness, though possibly intense, is usually of short duration. It is a symptom of primary affective illness. The feelings of sadness, moodiness are experienced periodically by almost everyone. There are various factors responsible for mental disturbances which leads to a state of depression. It is said that 0.5% persons or individuals, you can see a state of severe depression. 0.5% व्यक्तींमध्ये किंवा इंडिव्हिज्युअल्समध्ये तुम्ही सिव्हिअर काइंड ऑफ डिप्रेशन कॅन बी सीन. अँड इफ अ प्रॉपर ट्रीटमेंट is not given in a state of severe depression, then it can lead to a suicidal tendency also. That due to a state of severe depression, a person can go towards a state of suicide also. That is, if it is left untreated, it can lead to suicide. This is about your depression, that it is an affective disorder which adversely affects many individuals. If there is a kind of severe depression and if it is not properly treated, it can lead to suicide. Symptoms of depression. We will see one by one the symptoms of depression. I have given you in a chart. Feelings of intense sadness or worry, self-deprivation, insomnia, anorexia, headache, GIT disturbances, skeletal-muscular complaints, loss of sexual desire, enthusiasm, as well as mental slowing is going to take place. These are the symptoms of depression. A person who is suffering from depression will have the following characteristics like sadness, worry, self-depreciation, insomnia, anorexia, fatigue, headache, GIT disturbances. He is going to continuously complain about skeletal-muscular pain, loss of sexual desire, drive, enthusiasm, mental slowing, etc. can take place in a person suffering from depression. Now, types of depression. According to the type of symptoms, etiology, emotional characteristics, or the time of life when the disorder occurs, it may be exogenous depression and second one, that is endogenous depression. Depending upon the type of symptoms which are occurring in that individual person, etiology, what are the emotional or behavioral characteristics, or at what age the person is suffering from depression. According to that, there are two types of depression. One, it is known as exogenous depression, and second one, endogenous depression. First, we will go for exogenous depression. Exogenous depression is characterized by well-defined stress. Exogenous depression is characterized by well-defined stress. This stress may occur due to external factors like loss of beloved one, that is death of a person has taken place to whom you was very close or you have maximum love on that person. It may take place due to adverse effect of drugs or certain disease states. It is usually self-limiting and it is unresponsive to antidepressant drugs. Exogenous means external factors are responsible. Therefore, due to external factors which are responsible for depression, if these external factors are subside, then the person come out from the state of depression. Therefore, it is said that antidepressant drugs are unresponsive in exogenous depression. Then what will be the therapy or what treatment should be given in case of exogenous depression? It mainly consists of assurance and support, and sometimes anti-anxiety drugs may be helpful. For example, if death of a beloved one has taken place, what therapy will be given to such person who has gone into a depression? You can only give assurance and support. Therefore, if the external factors are subside, the person come out from the exogenous depression. Antidepressant drugs are unresponsive. Therapy mainly consists of assurance and support, and sometimes you can use anti-anxiety drugs. Second type, endogenous depression. Endogenous means within the body the factor is responsible or the cause is responsible. Endogenous depression is characterized by a definite onset of depressive symptoms unrelated to any significant external event. This type of depression is possibly caused by neurochemical imbalances. I have already told you that endo means within the body, that is internal factor is responsible. What internal factor? That is neurochemical imbalances. Now neurochemical imbalances, like for example imbalance of your neurotransmitters like adrenaline, noradrenaline, dopamine, biogenic amines, etc. The symptoms are usually more severe and it requires lifelong therapy. That is about your types of depression. I have already told you the drugs which counteract or which overcome mental depression or which elevate mood or a state of depression is altered, that are known as antidepressants or psychic energizers, thromboleptics. Example, imipramine, amitriptyline, nortriptyline, etc. These drugs are particularly effective in the treatment of emotional and psychiatric disorders where depression is a major symptom. It is also used for removal of endogenous depression, thus resulting in elevation of mood of the patient. It increases physical activity and mental alertness. It also increases appetite. But antidepressant drugs have certain side effects like dryness of mouth, tachycardia, constipation, sweating, and it may produce dangerous synergistic side effects, that are your side effects of your antidepressant drugs. Antidepressant drugs are mainly classified into 5 classes. The first one, that is tricyclic antidepressant. The first class, that is your tricyclic antidepressants. Their mechanism of action is it inhibits reuptake of noradrenaline. Noradrenaline is a neurotransmitter of sympathetic system, that is atomic nervous system has two systems, that is subdivisions, parasympathetic and sympathetic system. Acetylcholine is a neurotransmitter of parasympathetic system, while adrenaline or noradrenaline is a neurotransmitter of your sympathetic system. Tricyclic, the name itself, tri means three, cyclic means a ring structure. The tricyclic antidepressant मध्ये किती rings असतील? There are presence of your 3 rings, and according to the presence of the ring, it is subclassified into 4 classes. The first one, immunodibenzyl derivatives, example imipramine, tazipramine. Then dibenzooxapine derivatives, example doxepin, amoxicillin. Then dibenzothiophene derivatives, example dothiophene. Then fourth one, dibenzocycloheptane derivatives, example amitriptyline, nortriptyline, protriptyline, etc. Now in this all 4 subclasses, 2 rings are common, that is benzene, dibenzene. See, in every subclasses you will see the word dibenzyl, dibenzo. That means 2 benzene rings are present and there has been change in the 1 ring. That is, in immunodibenzyl ring along with 2 benzene ring, azapine ring is present. In dibenzooxapine along with 2 benzene ring, a 7-membered oxapine ring is present. Dibenzothiophene along with 2 benzene ring, thiophene ring is present. In case of dibenzocycloheptane, 2 benzene ring along with a cyclic heptane ring is present, or propylidine ring is present. These are the subclasses of your tricyclic antidepressants. Then second class, that is monoamino oxidase inhibitors. Monoamino oxidase inhibitors are subclassified into 2 classes: hydrazine derivatives, non-hydrazine derivatives. Hydrazine means having a chemical group NH2H4, N2H4 ज्याच्यामध्ये प्रेझेंट आहे त्या ग्रुपला म्हणतो आपण हायड्राझिन. मग ज्या रिंगमध्ये किंवा ज्या ड्रगमध्ये हा ग्रुप प्रेझेंट आहे त्याला म्हणतात हायड्राझिन डेरिव्हेटिव्स. एक्झाम्पल फिनाल्झिन, आयसोकार्बॉक्साइल. Non-hydrazine derivatives means absence of your Na2H4 organic group, or it is known as cyclopropylamines. Example tranylcypromine. Third class, serotonin reuptake inhibitors. Example fluoxetine, paroxetine. The next class, that is second generation antidepressants. Now the first 3 classes which we have seen, that is tricyclic antidepressants, monoamino oxidase inhibitors, serotonin reuptake inhibitors, these are your first generation antidepressant drugs. Second generation, that is more effective with less side effects, they are known as second generation. In that first class, that is tricyclics, dibenzapine, imprinolone. Then tetracyclic means having 4 rings. Then fifth class, that is your benzodiazepines, example diazepam, nitrazepam, and last one, that is miscellaneous, that is lithium salts, lithium carbonate and lithium citrate. This is the classification of your antidepressant drugs. Then today we are going to see the first class, that is your tricyclic antidepressants. Tricyclic antidepressants are able to bring about the changes in electroencephalogram. In HCP, you have already studied, that is electroencephalogram, which is used to check the activity of the brain. Like ECG, electrocardiogram, which is used to check the activity of the heart. In the same way, electrodes are placed on the scalp to check the activity of the brain, that is known as electroencephalogram. They exert a sedative effect during the first few days of their use. However, after several weeks of treatment, most patients respond quite differently and sedation is minimal. The drugs are made up of heterocycles like azapine, oxapine, thiopine. All these are 7-membered rings having one nitrogen, oxygen or sulfur respectively. Each of the system is also having presence of 3 double bonds. Now let us see one by one. This first structure, that is a structure of your dibenzothiopine. It is a structure of dibenzothiopine. If you see, it is a 7-membered structure, presence of 3 double bond and a sulfur heteroatom is present. And at both the sides of this 7-membered ring, benzene rings are fused or benzene rings are present. Then the second one, that is a structure of dibenzoazapine. It is a structure of your second ring कोणती? It is a structure of azapine. ही second ring कोणती है? Structure of azapine. 7-membered ring, nitrogen heteroatom and 3 double bonds. That is azapine heterocyclic. And to that 2 benzene rings are present. Therefore, it is known as dibenzazapine. Third ring, it is a ring of oxapine. 7-membered, 3 double bonds and oxygen is present, and to that structure there is a presence of your 2 benzene rings. Then next structure, that is a structure of your cycloheptane or propylidine. Cycloheptane, or it is also known as propylidine. 7-membered ring consists of 3 double bonds. Therefore, it is known as dibenzocycloheptane. There is only one drug for your study from tricyclic antidepressant, and that is a structure of your imipramine. You are having only one, that is imipramine. Now see the structure properly. You can give the chemical name by 2 ways. First of all, as per the rules, I have to find out the basic ring. Now this is the basic ring which is present in imipramine. This is the basic ring which is present in your imipramine. 2 benzene ring है आणि सेंटरी प्लेस्ड azapine ring है. That is structure काय? That is the structure of your dibenzazapine. Basic structure कोणतं आहे? dibenzazapine. According to the rules, give the numbering. Once you have given the numbering, now find out the substitute group which is present in that structure. त्या रिंग मध्ये कोणत्या पोझिशनला कोणता सबस्टिट्यूट ग्रुप प्रेझेंट आहे तो फाइंड आउट करायचा. आता ह्या बेसिक रिंग मध्ये जो सबस्टिट्यूट ग्रुप आहे, द सबस्टिट्यूट ग्रुप इज प्रेझेंट ॲट 5th पोझिशन. 5th पोझिशनला सबस्टिट्यूट ग्रुप काय? इट इज अ कॉम्प्लिकेटेड सबस्टिट्यूट ग्रुप. Therefore, a sub numbering is given, that is 1, 2 and 3. Third position ला काय present आहे? That is dimethyl amino and CH2 that is the structure of your propyl. मग पूर्ण रिंगचं नेम काय होईल? हा पूर्ण सबस्टिट्यूट ग्रुपचं नेम काय होईल? dimethyl amino propyl. The name will be 3 dimethyl amino propyl. Now see the first chemical name. 5, that is the position of the substitute group. It is a complicated and sub numbering has been given, therefore the name is written in bracket. 3 dimethyl amino propyl. The name is, now again one change is there. See the position of 10th and 11th one. आपण आधी बघितलं की ट्रायसायक्लिक अँटीडिप्रेसंटमध्ये जी 7 मेंबर ड्रिंक प्रेझेंट आहे, इट शुड हॅव प्रेझन्स ऑफ 3 डबल बॉन्ड्स. 7 मेंबर ड्रिंकमध्ये किती पाहिजे? 3 डबल बॉन्ड्स पाहिजे. इथे किती आहेत? फक्त 2 आहेत. 1, बघा किती डबल बॉन्ड आहे? हा 1 आणि हा 2. 2च डबल बॉन्ड आहेत. पण किती पाहिजे? 3 पाहिजे. ॲक्च्युली ॲझापिनच्या स्ट्रक्चरमध्ये किती? 3 डबल बॉन्ड्स आहेत. तर इथे कोणता डबल बॉन्ड ॲब्सेंट आहे? दॅट इज बिटवीन 10 अँड 11th पोझिशन. दॅट ऑल्सो यू हॅव टू स्पेसिफाय इन द केमिकल नेम. केमिकल नेम काय मग? 5 द पोझिशन. थर्डला काय आहे? डायमिथिल अमायनो. therefore 3 डायमिथिल अमायनो and the name of the basic ring that is substitute group, that is your propyl. 10th आणि 11th पोझिशनला बॉन्ड ॲब्सेंट आहे, therefore I am writing 10 11 dihydro. At the end write down the name of the basic structure, that is dibenzazapine. That is one way of giving chemical name to the structure of imipramine. Now the second method, instead of considering dibenzazapine as a basic structure, I will consider this as a basic structure or parent skeleton. Instead of considering dibenzazapine as a parent skeleton, I am going to consider this one as a parent structure. Now to the parent structure I have given the numbering 1 2 3. Now to the parent structure, this group is present at 5th position. कोणत्या पोझिशनला प्रेझेंट? इट इज प्रेझेंट ॲट द 5th पोझिशन. कोणता ग्रुप प्रेझेंट आहे? दॅट इज डायबेन्झापाइन. therefore I am writing 3 in bracket 10 11 dihydro dibenzazapine. नायट्रोजन रूल जो आपण हेट्रोसायक्लिक कंपाऊंडमध्ये शिकलोय, जर सिमिलर असेल तर NN डायमिथिल and the name that is basic, that is your propylamine. That is the second way of giving chemical name to the structure of imipramine. Properties: it is white or slightly yellow, crystalline powder, odorless and having a bitter taste. It is freely soluble in water, in ethanol, in chloroform, but practically insoluble in ether. If imipramine is reacted with nitric acid, a blue color is produced. Imipramine, when treated with nitric acid, a blue color is going to be produced. Next, that is uses. It is used in treatment of endogenous depression. It is used in treatment of nocturnal enuresis in children. Now what is nocturnal enuresis? Nocturnal enuresis means there is a loss of control over the bladder. Now if a person has lost a control over the bladder, what will happen? Without knowing himself, he is going to have the urinization, and it generally takes place at a night time. Therefore it is known as nocturnal enuresis. Night time loss of bladder control or bed wetting, and it generally takes place in children's. Next, to treat anxiety disorders, to treat anorexia nervosa. Now what is anorexia nervosa? The anorexia means that is fear. Nervosa क्या है? It is an eating disorder characterized by weight loss, difficulty in maintaining an appropriate body weight against height, age, etc. Nowadays, particularly your generation is suffering from this disorder, this kind of depression, that is anorexia nervosa. आजकाल प्रत्येकाला हेल्थ कॉन्शियस जे लोक आहेत ते असा विचार करतात की वेट गेन नाही व्हायला पाहिजे, नाहीतर आपल्याला पुढे काही त्रास होऊ शकतो, एखादी डिसऑर्डर होऊ शकते किंवा डिझीज पण होऊ शकतो. त्याच्यामुळे ते काय करतात? दे जनरली कन्झ्युम अ व्हेरी लेस अमाऊंट ऑफ फूड. खूप कमी जेवण करतात. का? त्यांच्यामध्ये मनामध्ये भीती असते की मी जर जास्त जेवण केलं तर माझं वजन वाढणार आहे. पण ऑलवेज रिमेंबर दॅट युअर बॉडी वेट शुड कोरिलेट विथ युअर हाईट अँड एज. तुमची उंची किती आहे, तुमचं वय किती आहे, त्याप्रमाणे तुमचं बॉडी वेट पाहिजे. फॉर एक्झाम्पल, इफ अ पर्सन is having a height 5.7 to 5.9 and he is between age 25 to 40 years, a normal body weight it is considered that is 72 kg. पण आजकाल प्रत्येकाला वजन किती पाहिजे? इट शुड बी between 55 to 60 kg. That is known as anorexia nervosa condition, that is fear of gaining body weight. Due to that, a person consumes very less amount of food. Rather, according to the height and age, there is a demand in more body weight. It is also used in treatment of hyperactive child syndrome. Now, what is hyperactive child syndrome? It is also known as attention deficient syndrome. Attention deficient syndrome means you will see that some children are bouncing from one activity to next within a very short span of time. बाउन्सिंग म्हणजे काय की तो विचार करतो की मला आता हे करायचं आहे, 2 मिनिटं होत नाही की तो लगेच म्हणतो नाही मला हे नाही करायचं, मला आता हे करायचं आहे. परत थोडा वेळ जात नाही तर तो विचार करतो नाही मला आता हे नाही करायचं, मला ते करायचं आहे. त्याला म्हणतात हायपर ॲक्टिव्ह चाइल्ड सिंड्रोम. दॅट इज अटेन्शन डेफिशियंट डिसऑर्डर टू डू several things and bouncing around from one activity to the next activity. In its treatment you can use the drug that is imipramine. It is also used in treatment of phobia. What is phobia? Phobia means it is a condition of extreme fear or irrational fear. That fear is unreasonable or unlogical. कोणतंही रिझन नाहीये, काही कारण नाहीये, कोणतंही जेन्युइन रिझन नाहीये, तरी सुद्धा त्याच्यामध्ये एक फिअर कंडिशन डेव्हलप होते आणि ती फिअर कंडिशन खूप सिव्हिअर आहे, त्याला म्हणतात फोबिया. त्याच्या ट्रीटमेंटमध्ये सुद्धा तुम्ही इमिप्रामाइन यूज करू शकतात. ड्यू टू antihistaminic activity, it is also used in treatment of allergic conjunctivitis. Allergic conjunctivitis means it is a disorder that is related with eye inflammation. Stability storage condition, in presence of water and oxygen, degradation of imipramine takes place and this effect is accelerated by light, therefore stored in tightly closed light resistant containers. Official preparation: imipramine tablet IPBP, imipramine injection BP. Brand names: Depsonil, Depsol, Microdep are the trade names of your imipramine. In today's lecture we have seen how depression occurs, types of depression, what are its symptoms, definition of antidepressant drugs, classification, and the first class that is your antidepressants. In that we have seen the first drug that is your imipramine. Thank you.